Hai,
Kita testing first, eh.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning.
Good
We start at
morning.
9, right?
9:11 dah
Okay.
sekarang.
Dah 11. Oh, okay. Assalamualaikum
Tahulah
everyone.
PKP, timing semua dah salah.
Okay, almost my clock lagi 2 minit.
Okay. Send a request to be in Norin Summit live video
Jangan,
requested.
jangan, jangan accept. Tak
I
payah
know you're
accept. Dia
asking me to send a request.
dah tak payah because your
Uh,
face dah ada.
am I live? Hi
Oh.
Alia. Hi Shireen.
Okay, hi
Okay.
everyone. Good morning. I want to
Assalamualaikum.
have a chill talk with Riz today. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, for a
Ken-
start,
Kenalkanlah dulu Puan Nori ni siapa, sebab
tak
orang yang
payah.
tengok IG I tak tahu you lagi
Okay,
gitu.
I know Riza for such a long time since our primary school, and but I think she was so glamorous those days. Dia
Oi,
lupa lah I sikit.
Tocang 2 sekolah rendah dulu kan?
Kan. Lepas tu, and then and we have been friends. We lost contact for a few years lah, and then after that
Hmm.
we reconcile, and then we were like I don't know lah. Everything I think inside out we tell each other.
Yeah, now I cannot get rid of her.
That's the irritating part.
Cannot dah. Nak putus
Okay,
silaturahim dosa.
no, itulah.
Kan
So
paksalah simpan seorang ni.
I have quite some time asking her to do this session talk due to her her trending talk recently was all about the sexual harassment, which some of us don't actually know and aware of this situation. So I would like to tell everyone who is joining us now, today, that Ariza Alwi is actually manager, advocacy and communication for Open Care manager, and she was the ex mass crew, and I think she also have this kind of situation where the sexual harassment in the workplace is like everywhere, right? Okay. So for a start, I would like to ask you the basic question. What is actually
Hmm.
sexual harassment? How you define that?
Okay. At first, sexual harassment ni people will always relate it to sexual activities. So before I joined Open Care, so of course everybody heard about sexual harassment, but
Mm.
it's not a big deal. Not kind people are not aware. They always think sexual harassment meaning someone is forced to have sex ataupun gangguan seksual apa dia berbentuk kena pegang, kena touch and all
Mm.
that. But joining Orphan Care, I realized because we have to go for training and things like that.
Mm.
So it's actually very, very different. And the girls, the youth and all that are more outspoken now. So they actually, so we learn sexual harassment actually is unwanted or unwelcome conduct. Perangai that
Mm.
is ada sexual in nature lah, physically, verbally pun ada, non-verbal pun ada, visual pun ada, psychologically pun ada. Tapi a lot of people only take the physical. So I think when you
Okay.
talk about sexual harassment, people ingat sexual kan. Tapi sebenarnya perkara ini is actually about maruah. It's actually about aib
Yes.
kita. That's why people do not want to
Yep.
talk about it. And we always feel victimized, malu untuk cakap. But with the modern days now, I think a lot more sexual. That's why orang sekarang asyik dengar je sexual harassment yang di school girl shared.
Mm.
So
Mm.
benda ni lagi banyak dibincangkan. So I think it's a good topic also kita bincang lagi. So people are more aware kenapa benda ni sekarang baru keluar.
So
Right.
the misconception usually was like macam mana? Because they think that non-physical sexual harassment is like it's not an harassment, is it?
Yeah, that's right. People think that
Macam
it's only physical. Macam okay, you mentioned that I was in the airline before. Okay, like
mm,
maybe ataupun some workplace or some friends are very open ke something like that lah. If you, it's actually we want everyone, male or female, to know that sexual harassment ni bukan berbentuk physical sahaja. It can be a lot yang macam you tak comfortable, orang text, sekarang text, chatting, you tak comfortable dekat tempat okay, kalau kita cakap pasal remaja, I think it happens in school as well. Tapi sebagai ibu bapa, kita tak peka. Kita pula, our limitation as parents, kita selalu cakap dengan our kids, apa ni yang, kau jangan bagi budak pegang-pegang kau. You know? Itu kita tapi untuk diorang punya mentality, apa tu? Pegang macam mana? Apa dia? So kita ada tak budak, kau jangan menggatal, kau jangan menggedik. So kita generalize tau to our youth, anak-anak kita. Tapi mentally diorang macam gatal tu macam mana? Gedik tu apa dia? What is the definition? So I think as parents, kita start with parents kan, sebab kita educate youth. You must explain. You kena cakap dengan anak-anak, cakap okay, you dah remaja, there are some safe body areas yang you kena be aware of. Kalau you tak comfortable, you kena cakap. Sebab diorang tak faham tak comfortable tu apa. Apa dia kan? And then kalau ada budak kacau tak? Ada orang kacau kau tak? Kacau macam mana? Kan? And then it depends on diri dia juga. Kita pulang kat diri dia. Itu untuk youth. Untuk kita yang dewasa or dah tempat kerja, at our workplace, because it all comes back to you. Okay, just say that you are okay with people talking like that with you, then you cannot say sexual harassment. Because you are okay. Okay, so it depends on you. But if you're not okay, just say Noreen dengan I, we go to the same workplace. There's this guy named Khairul. Khairul always say, Noreen, aku kalau kau lalu Noreen, terliur tengok kau memang terliur. Tapi you tak kisah. You macam apalah kau ni merepek. Tapi in your heart it's like macam, okay lah Khairul tu memang macam tu. But just say he says to me, dia kata, Riz, kau jalan aku tengok daripada belakang, buntut kau gini-gini. Tapi I don't like it. Tapi I diam. Sebab I tengok Noreen okay je, takkan aku nak sound dia. But actually that is something yang dia kata sexual harassment is something that the person feels humiliated, offended dengan threatened.
Okay, so how about school? Do you find ada tak report on school sexual harassment teachers to the student, but student sure takut nak report? Macam mana tu?
Yeah, a lot of talks that we do at schools, most of
and university also lah kan?
Yes, that's why I'm sharing this a lot, because every time we go to schools and all that, we talk about all this misconduct. Maknanya kita cakap dengan the youth is for them. Maknanya adik-adik kena tahu this because sometimes itu yang lepas kita buat talk, dia boleh cakap, cikgu saya dah cakap dengan mak saya tau, tapi mak saya tak percaya. Pakcik dekat babysitter tu, pakcik kat babysitter selalu pegang-pegang peluk-peluk. Dia kata tak apa. Sebab macam sedara. And then budak tu cakap dengan mak dia, dengan cikgu, dengan mak dia, dia kata, dekat babysitter, abang kat situ selalu peluk-peluk, kiss-kiss. Tapi tak apa kan, sebab macam adik-beradik. So, that's where they do not know the limitations. That to them is like, tak salah sebab tak sakit. Tak salah sebab apa. That's why kita kena explain. So, I'm so very sad to share this. I've done more than 50 whatever talks to school, universities and all that. Setiap sekolah, setiap universities mesti ada kes. Mesti
But they
wajib.
don't know. Actually dia tak tahu lah.
They don't know. So after our sharing, they actually realised that macam this girl, sekolah akan cakap dengan counsellors lah, because our capacity is only about doing the talk. So macam this university, if I'm packing my laptop, I can see that they all are standing there already. Ada yang macam Kak Riz, macam mana saya nak buat sebenarnya, I've been, like bapak tiri saya has been harassing me since I was 17, dia cakap. So sekarang I'm 22 now kat university, nangis dia cerita. Tapi adik saya kat rumah is 17 and 15, I think they are also being sexually harassed. So dia kata sekarang saya berani nak cakap because I know I can get help. So actually everyone goes through a trauma, and like this girl also say when she was 6 years old, she's already 20 something, and she said when she was 6, 7 ke 8 years old, throughout that period of time, they all always buat cousin sleepover kat rumah. So dia cakap then only she realised that how jijik she felt, because abang saudara dia at that time almost 17, 18 always hug her from behind and pegang her private part. Tapi dia tak cerita, dia cakap. Masa tu dia umur 6, 7 tahun, 8 tahun. Dia dia kata, but those things, dia kata saya tidur malam, saya terkejut, terjaga because saya tahu benda tu salah, dia cakap. So that's why we say when we talk to our children,
Hmm.
we need to ask them, cakap, kita tak boleh tanya genre, ada tak orang gatal dengan kau, ada orang pegang-pegang kau. So we must teach them the safe areas, and even to adults also. Sometimes it's a big definition. So I kata because if you okay with the people punya action towards you, then tak boleh, tak ada apa-apa. But if you're not comfortable, tapi janganlah pula orang baru kacau you sekali je, you dah tahu sexual harassment terus, right? But it's
Yalah.
actually a continuation of the action, especially in the workplace. Sometimes the people didn't realize that the joke that they do with you or in the group is offending. How would he know? Unless you kata, macam you tengah joke, suddenly you don't like it 3-4 kali dah. So you cakap, Johan, actually aku tak suka lah kau cakap macam ni. Satu kali. And then lagi sekali tengah makan-makan, dia cakap lagi, aku kalau tengok kau ni steam lah, okay. Biar aku tak suka kau cakap macam ni, boleh tak? So you have to have firm, tegur that you don't like, and then ada bukti kawan-kawan semua dengar. Then
Okay.
but we won't go into akta lah, Noreen, because at
Yes,
workplace
of
HR
course.
semua it's going to be very detailed, right?
And how about kalau macam boss to the staff, and sometimes not via cakap, verbal or physical, but they texting. Is it
Yes.
sexual harassment?
We have interns also that came out to us and told us that macam at the workplace, the supervisor keep on texting her and say, sometimes in the group, bila group tu, she said she felt very uncomfortable. Kata, oh kalau kita meeting, katakan nama dia Nisha, Nisha tak best lah meeting ni, tak ons lah, apa semua. It's a joke, tapi she doesn't like it. Lama-lama she felt very threatened.
Offended.
She felt very offended. So after a while, that guy dah makin berani sebab she never say jangan. So ajak dia keluar, come lah, go out with us. I keluar dengan you, I belanja you and things like that. But she took the step up and report to the manager. So manager percaya, ada bukti kan dalam phone.
Yeah.
So it depends on your HR punya tu. But if you feel that it's not proper, dah berkali-kali repetition, then you can say, even dekat guard pun, sometimes you masukkan guard macam, awak keluar sama saya lah satu. Tapi kalau you okay dengan orang tu, okay. Tapi lama-lama if you find it annoying, you tegur lah, cakap, you jangan cakap ini macam sama saya boleh tak, saya tak suka.
Yelah. Okay, itu kalau they are working, and then school, they have department ataupun person in charge who is taking care of the this kind of cases. But how about if you are in a business kan, and then you are meeting customer yang macam tu, and it's not that he is actually the customer and the owner of the company, but it seems that you have to deal with him or her, and then but the company itself tak tahu. So how do you handle that? I mean, how do these people handle that?
I think, Noreen, we have that kind of experience also when we go for meetings kan. People will say, that's why we kata if the situation is sekali, just say we go meeting whatever kan, datuk ke apa benda saying that macam, awak you ni kalau tak bawa you, I rasa tak sempurna lah hidup I ni. But it depends on us. How do we tepis this? Kalau 2-3 kali jumpa ni, cakap lah, Tok sebenarnya saya tak boleh sikit lah, saya tak suka. Jangan joke macam ni. That's why all the awareness that Often Care ataupun I buat sendiri is actually not to cari salah orang tu tau. It's actually for us to be aware whether we want to allow this to happen to us or not, because we are not the
correct.
victim.
Betul.
We are not the victim. You cannot educate. You cannot educate them. How you want to educate them? Nanti bila you cakap, even there's interns and all that, when they reported, the manager called the supervisor, but the whole office actually say, dia tu biasalah, dia joke je. Kau ni apa poyo sangat? Dia gurau je lah, dia gurau. So, but that person needs to understand his gurau is offending. But he's older, he's more mature. So, he won't see what he's doing is wrong. So, kita yang kena, stand up for ourselves. Try not to share in social media these kind of things unless you are strong enough to take on the implications, because when you share in social media, the public will be the judge and jury.
Yes, correct. And then you'll be like sakit hati lah kan. Okay, tapi like you say that this kind, apa dia punya, how to overcome? I mean, not how we handle kan, kita can actually reject, but if the case is actually keep on going, we have already told this person and blah 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 blah, and then dia tak ni lah, dia macam orang kata apa dia akan keep on harassing you using text ini. So what are you going, I mean, what are we supposed to do, these people, or they have to do?
That's why a lot of youngsters they got scared and they stop reporting and they just handle it. Itu yang jadi depression, psychological effect. They become very mental health and things like that affect their mental health. So you need to be brave. That's why the awareness talk again, I'm saying is that it's actually to encourage you to be brave to say it out. People will still do what they do. We cannot stop them. Kan, it's very difficult to stop that. In fact, when you do report to your office also, you actually need a lot of courage to say this, because these people might be your supervisor, your boss, your CEO maybe. But that's why proof is very important. That means you have the right to say that you don't like it, especially if it's physical. Sometimes physical tak ada proof because just one-to-one. But if text and emails and things like that ada. Try to get people to get involved yang nampak that scenario. Memang cakap macam, Norin kan dah cakap dia tak suka, kau buat juga kenapa? So, and I think now people are more careful because it's all video, people can tweet about it, so
Dia punya process is actually from the department, and after that it can be the police report ke macam mana?
Yeah, dia ada akta under law, sexual harassment law in HR. Every HR company ada. So it's different tau. Under the same section tapi different HR companies akan ada. So you need to refer back to HR. Tapi bila you bawa pergi HR tu dah kira dah masuk report. So sometimes HR tak suka you buat police report dulu before telling them. So if it's internal, you need to report to your immediate supervisor dulu. Supervisor will bring it up and then they will talk to HR. They will have an internal investigation. Then if necessary on that. Sebab sometimes when you do police report direct, HR akan panggil you balik. They need to do siasatan. Tapi sekarang ni sexual harassment yang tinggi, yang the high cases yang macam betul-betul physical and all that, I'm not sure whether banyak berlaku in offices, tapi dia start daripada the main-main punya dulu tau. Dia tak comfortable kan, and then macam now pula a lot of women are more aware. It's not only happen to women, Noreen, you know that, right?
Yes. Okay. So that means workplace lah. Even workplace is a place lah where, because kalau you in a business, you can actually avoid the person lah. But if you are dealing with a corporate company, it's much more difficult tau. Because we are dealing with the maybe the middle management is not the boss, the direct boss kan. So it's quite hard tau. And then if we don't know how to report, takkan nak report dekat CEO which we don't actually know them lah kan.
Dia punya step tu ada. Memang ada akta, all these things memang akan ada. Ada section B, section A. Tak complicated sebenarnya. It's actually quite dia dah structured kan.
But how you want to advise me kalau macam me or the person yang buat business lah kan, yang business kecil-kecil ni semua. So macam mana dia orang nak counter back, macam mana dia orang nak report that this corporate company punya person in charge is actually sexual harass them.
Yeah, that's where
to siapa
kan, sebagai as an individual, I think of course kita masuk pun we don't only see that person sahaja. Sometimes we see dia punya dia punya executive lain and all that kan. So start by saying macam saya kalau jumpa Cik Khairuddin tu saya tak comfortable sangat lah. Say it out first, because benda-benda ni semua will build up your confidence kan. Cakap dia bukan sekali meeting you kena harass, you terus tak nak pergi. Dua kali, dia macam ada a few times. So I think this time everybody kena berani to actually say it out whether you like it or not. And again, Nurin, macam kita kata, to some people it's harassment, to some people it's not. That's why it's difficult. So when your supervisor,
breaking up sikit you punya line. Repeat.
Some people think it's some people rasa it's okay, some people rasa it's not. So for those yang rasa tak, ataupun dia report pada HR lah, just say, but HR said alah dia tu dah tua lah, dia memang gurau je, dia suka gurau kotor. But you need to be firm and say yes, but saya tak comfortable.
Betul.
So maknanya dia kena jangan gurau kotor dengan saya, that's it. Kalau nak kata
Okay,
saya poyo ke, saya apa ke, because it affects me. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable. Sometimes it's not about what you wear. You can wear shorts, pakai apa pun. But if the person has respect to you, cakap sama sendiri je lah. Kalau lelaki tu nak tu cakap geng-geng dia je lah. You don't have to say it out kan. And if that girl pakai tudung labuh pun, kalau dia nak piwit-piwit pun, they would still do it.
betul lah. So, have you encountered that men yang kena sexual harassment in the workplace?
Not officially, I mean like I handled, but cases shared, yes. At universities, the student says that, you know, the lecturer perempuan, counselor ke
Oh,
lecturer?
hebat.
Counselor ke lecturer? I'm not so sure.
Okay.
Then it's because dia kata, apa ni cakap, oh you pergi gym selalu. Saya you know, siap pegang dia punya bahu. But he said sekali tu dia okay lah. Tapi every time dia jumpa, that lecturer mesti macam tu. So he gets uncomfortable. Tapi pegang tu sekali lah, you said. But after like 3, 4, 5 times, that lady keep on saying macam, oh, I suka lah tengok you apa something lah. But I think that boy pun dia kata it traumatizes him. Kesian tau student, 21, 22 years
Because
old.
dia belajar dengan lecturer tu pula kebetulan.
Itu satu case. And then satu case lagi pula, this is about sexuality lah. So even the boss is a guy, but he's gay. Ataupun dia bisexual ke apa, we don't know. Dia suka the other guy in the office. Kan?
Wow.
So giving hints and things like that. So kita kan bila we talk about this, mana ada merepek lah. Dia orang ni cerita apa merepek. It's happening. You just do not want to know. If you don't want to know, that's why you rasa macam merepek lah cakap pasal ni. Takkanlah. Macam tu.
Yes. Okay. Your nephew join. Is it?
Underage, PG-13 tak boleh dengar. Mana mak dan bapak ni.
So what is actually your advice lah, Riza? Maybe last thing that your advice to us, everyone who's watching you, what are the steps and how do we handle sexual harassment? Then what is your advice?
I think as an adult, we actually have to start educating the youth first.
Okay.
Educate them about respect. If you lelaki, you educate your younger generation that younger generation ada mak, ada adik perempuan, ada kakak, kan? They also do not want the female members in the family to be treated like that. So when you learn about respect, you will educate and you will have more better youth lah kan. And for the perempuan pula, you educate them to be aware, to be brave, to say it out when these things happen, and to know their body rights and all these things. Maknanya if you're not looking at the people macam pandang macam buat you know all this face action kat office, tak cakap pun bila orang kata dia kacau saya, mana ada kacau, tak cakap, suara tak keluar, tapi buat action yang mulut yang you know all this leering punya tu, tak suka. So we educate the boys not to do that to other people, and we educate the girls to be brave. Itu untuk the youth. So untuk kita pula sendiri, if we are doing it ataupun kita sedar dengan tak sedar, stop dulu. Sebelum kita cakap, kita fikir dulu. If you are talking to friends macam Nurin, sometimes kita joke, itu between us sebab you know, tapi can you imagine if we say that to other people yang kita tak kenal and things like that. So now everyone knows. So sebelum nak joke yang you rasa macam kelakar sangat you punya joke tu, you fikir dulu, is it offending or not?
Okay. That's a good one. Okay, any question from them? Tak ada. Tapi I think most of people who's viewing this, you can actually comment below ke nanti. I will leave this dekat my IGTV.
Nurin, what about you yourself? Have you encountered ataupun your friends have encountered?
Yalah, masa kita muda, kita tak berapa muda sekarang, okay? Tak adalah, masa kita kerja dulu adalah
you were in the HR, right? Ada tak cases yang you know?
Okay, I was in a bank before that. I was in a bank. Dekat bank, we jumpa corporate customer. So the person in charge in that corporate customer ada, but they just verbal, in a verbal way. Every time kita nak kita jumpa for kerja punya hal, dia akan cakap benda-benda macam tu. Dulu tak ada WhatsApp, tak ada SMS kan.
Yes.
So I rasa irritate lah. Memang sakit hati kalau nak pergi, tapi because of the work, but I didn't do anything because I don't know what to do. Right. So
Tapi does it affect you tak? You rasa tak comfortable, right?
tak
That's the
comfortable
word, right?
to meet the, yes, tak comfortable. And I think for years, I think 2 years macam tu, because we are
That's
handling
a long
the
time,
account.
you know. That's
Yes.
a long time
So
for you to go
I
through.
didn't dare to talk to my boss, because dia kata, alah biasalah, you know,
Ah.
boss you lelaki show, dia pun macam alah biasalah kan. Tapi so I keep to myself lah, I kept to myself. And then but I was like ada grunge lah. I sampai sekarang I rasa I memang tak suka lah. And then in fact, if the company is good pun, I ada nampak when we cakap pasal company A, you akan ada perception of that company A because of that guy. Itu je lah.
That person kan.
And
That's why
after,
kena banyak tagline kan, macam biasa tak semestinya, you know, kena
suka.
ada
Biasa
kan.
tak semestinya suka.
Macam biasa tak semestinya betul. Something like that kan. Sebab
lepas,
jawapan orang is always macam, alah biasalah, dia tu memang suka cakap macam tu, biasalah. Sebab biasa itulah yang we cannot do anything about it.
yes, and then in masa I join oil and gas is worse lah. Tapi I can handle it because oil and gas is 90% men. So I mean say that everyone is like that. Don't tak, very few of them is like that. But yes, I didn't, even I was in the HR, I tak cakap lah orang, sebab I rasa macam not important for everyone, but it irritates me lah. I memang I'm not stressed, but I feel so
down
hatred.
kan.
Down and hate to
See,
work.
can you imagine? Okay, you can handle it because I think, because of your maturity, because of your exposure. Can you imagine the people who went through this, who are going through this, and do not know what to do? That's where they want to become very quiet. They don't want to go to work. And some of them take depression pills. And then university students. And now with the PKP and all that, a lot of chatting and things. Sometimes in our WhatsApp group pun, you know, people start sharing things that we don't like. You tengok Facebook je lah. Sometimes kan kecoh, people say, dia ni share tak apa-apa lah, aku tak suka lah, aku stress baca dia punya. So itu you yang, you know, you tak suka pun you keep on rasa stress. Can you imagine if it's all about sexuality? I'm not saying that we should stop, maknanya dengan kawan, but if your own circle of friends, it's fine. But when you deal with other people, and you know, even in your workplace ada 40-50 orang, not everybody is like you. Not everybody is like Noreen or like me. You know, everybody is brought up differently. Kita punya tradition lain, our beliefs are different, our environment of being brought up are different, our exposures are different. That might be a dirty joke to you, but it's not a dirty joke to me.
Yes. It's a dirty joke for me if I'm talking to you. Like say, I mean a friend. A friend is different thing. But if you are not really know that person, you tak kenal pun. We are actually in the business. I mean, kita kerja because of the kerja. You cannot say such thing to, you know, cannot take joke lah macam tu kan.
So this is one thing that if the person we know is going through. One more thing is like for us, this awareness is also for us to help other people, because sometimes at our workplace, macam you kata tadi, you were not brave enough to tell, but maybe you tell another friend.
Yes,
so now, so currently now, if ada lah your friend yang cakap dengan you, it is your responsibility to help that person. Because you are aware now, you dengar kita bercakap sekarang ni, so you know that that person is reaching out to you for help. So you need to help that person.
They need proof kan, betul tak? Sebab kadang-kadang those days tak ada proof, because it's like tak ada WhatsApp, tak ada SMS.
Tapi janganlah trap that person pula, letak video kat tepi. I mean, if it's like really bad situation, maybe. But if you're uncomfortable, there are steps to take. You know, first avoid. First cakap, you know, dah 2-3 kali cakap, that person still doing it, then avoid. And then kalau that person you dah avoid pun, he still, you know, look for you or things like that, then you can report. And so you got to be strong going through the process lah. It's not like one time or twice the person kacau you and you terus report the sexual harassment, because nanti are you strong enough to go through all the inquiries and all that? Kena tengok juga kan. But you must stand up for yourself. Itu je. You need to know the difference between bad jokes, dirty jokes and all that. And again kan Noreen, kita cakap, it all comes to you. Kalau you rasa tak
Yes.
comfortable, you have the right to say it out. Never be a victim.
First kena tegur lah orang tu, betul tak? I rasa is the best. Tapi kan sometimes kalau kita tegur orang tu, dia akan rasa dendam. You faham tak?
That's why
There will
you
be.
need to have people around you to support you dulu. Yang sekarang ni apa benda jadi pun is always about support lah, support system.
Yes.
My experience, youth to ramai. That's why I become very passionate about this, because whenever I go to universities, even online talk, online talk also sometimes, because we use this Google Jamboard apps and things like that. So ada one of the questions that we ask the students, do you know anyone who has been sexually harassed or raped? So we were talking about ni kan? Yes tu sangat banyak.
Yeah.
Sangat banyak. Yes. So after we explain what is sexual harassment and all that, and then ada yang berani cakap, puan masa saya kat universiti dulu, dia masa diploma, that's why she said lah, they were doing a project and all that. Lepas tu counselor ambil vendor daripada luar, blah blah blah, I had to deal with that vendor. Keluar semua cerita, and she said because she reported, 12-13 students came forward as well and said dia orang pun pernah kena.
Wow.
So when you as a parent or as an adult, you see the changes in your child, in your teenage, ask them. There must be something yang make them members. But dia orang pun macam kita takut nak cakap dengan bos, anak kita takut nak cakap dengan kita. Kan bila parents pula, asal kita cakap je, kau yang gatal, siapa suruh kau pergi lalu kat situ, siapa kan? So
This
as
is good
parents,
topic.
we need to change our mindset also and ask, especially macam boys school. Sometimes there are sexual harassment between boys and boys, because this boy told me, told us, dia kata, saya duduk asrama, tapi abang-abang kat situ selalu pegang-pegang saya, pegang-pegang private part, tapi dia kata okay lah, boy sama boy. Okay, boy sama boy, tak apa. So brought up since form 1 macam tu, boy sama boy. So bila dia balik rumah dia senyap. So parents tak
Tapi
tahu
dia tak
tau
suka
all this.
sebenarnya, betul
Dia
tak?
tak suka. And then benda tu traumatizing. I've spoken to this 50-year-old guy pun, dia pun cakap macam tu. Masa dia in boarding school, benda-benda tu terjadi. Dia kata bila fikir balik, sometimes dia malam-malam dia cold sweat, dia cakap. At the age of 50, bila dia teringat balik what happened to him during boarding school, dia cold sweat.
So that means traumatizing lah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Alright.
Riza. I think we end the session. Ada question lain tak ada. Apa-apa you all can comment under ataupun DM Riza, ataupun you just comment under this IGTV punya recording later.
And thank you, Noreen, and for everyone who's listening. If you want to do this free talk, but it's going to be a module talk lah, about 1 hour. I'll do a lot of sharing with the universities, with school, and also at workplace about this.
Yes, can contact her. Nanti I link the Open Care page, and then you can actually DM Open Care there.
And Noreen, thank you for doing this. It's really nice. Every weekend you do your brunch talk. And follow Noreen, dia buat brunch talk every weekend.
Yes, kadang-kadang tak jadi brunch juga, kadang-kadang petang atau malam.
Tea talk or brunch talk lah.
Yes, okay. Okay, Riza, nice to see you and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Assalamualaikum. Bye.